Today we are beginning week 3 of our 100-day painting challenge. This is open to all artists and colorists. At any point in time, you can join in on the fun. This doesn't mean you have to finish something every single day for 100 days. It just means simply to work on something. And it's not limited to painting. Maybe you're going to work in a coloring book, or maybe you crochet. I really wanted to help to inspire us to just get more in touch with our creativity. And I have to say, I have seen a huge difference from me painting consistently for the past 14 days. I am looking to put out a video where I kind of share what have I learned in the first 2 weeks. If you're interested in that, let me know in the description box of the video. This is the book that I am using for my challenge, and this is a Hana Mule 100% cotton watercolor book. This is cold pressed, A5 size, 250 GSM. I will say I love this book, but it is not loving what I am doing. So let me show you what I mean. Look at what's happening, friends. You see this? Yeah, it's very upsetting, but I'm also going really heavy into wet. And this is a place to play and have fun, so I'm not like overly obsessed with it. Well, I am, but not really. So I just finished filming a video on the Neocolor 2s, the Neocolor 1s, and I used it for the prompt for day 14 new tool, where I have taken an Ivan Konstantinovich, a Vazovsky. I cannot pronounce things. I do apologize. But his painting, Moonlit Night at Sea, and I used the Neocolor 1s. And at the very end, I did come in with the Ohuhu Pupae paper-friendly markers in just 3 colors, just because I wanted to test out how it works on top, and it did great. It did great. The Neocolor 1s are real messy, but I do love them. Make sure you watch that video because I also finished a page in dark fairy tales using Neocolor 1s. But today marks the day of starting the 3rd week. So the inspiration, the vibe for week 3 is creativity, which I love, friends, because that is the whole purpose of this for me, is for us to tap more into our creative side. Day 15's prompt is hidden. You don't have to follow the prompts. I have found it to be kind of fun to brainstorm, like, what could I do for it? But you could do anything that you like, and you can interpret it any which way you like. I think what I'm going to do, because I'm very inspired now to paint this in gouache, is that I would like to do a double page spread, because I love double page spreads, for the prompt hidden, and do my best to replicate this master painting in a gouache study. I've learned a lot from doing my color notes and kind of working through in my mind the composition and what I love about it, what I think I did okay in this, what I could do better. I sure hope you hang out with me as I'm working on this painting. I'm also going to share the next 7 prompts for week 3. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you share it with anyone else that you know that is creative and maybe looking to tap into their creative side. And let's get started, shall we? I have placed my book on this tablet stand. You don't need this, but I don't like working flat because I have been an oil painter for decades and I like a little bit of height. Doesn't have to be vertical, but just a little bit more height. And what I'm going to do, because I really love the vibe that I've been getting with having a border around, and I actually really love this spread because I have allowed the colors I'm using to be on it versus this spread that I love, but I didn't put the colors that I used for it. So I think I want to do something like this. So looking at the master study, with the way that the orientation is, I think I can absolutely zero in like that. So what I'm going to do is use this really thick, cheap Scott's brand of tape. When you do this, it is highly recommended that you use a hairdryer or a heat tool to take it off. This book does not like tape. It does not like tape. It will pull the paper. It will ruin your paper. I do want to use my stencil. I love the stencil. Everything I use is linked in my Amazon storefront, which is linked in the description box below. And I love how I did this spread with them across versus this one when I kind of went like this. I mean, this is nice too, but I think I want to just go straight across. So I don't know how many colors I'm going to use, so I'm not going to do this just yet. Maybe up here, I'll use this instead. So I have the room. Oh, that looks perfect. So I have the room to use my stencil. I love framing out where I'm going to paint, because when you take the tape off, your picture looks so finished. It just looks great. At the time of filming this, this is World Watercolor Month in the month of July. So even though gouache is not watercolor, it's a water medium, so I think it's fair game. One of the things that I've really been enjoying is my Everlasting Wet Palette. This is the Painter Light from Red Gross. And it is fabulous because underneath here is a sponge, and it really allows the paint to, as it says, stay wet. I wanted to show you how I'm making sure I have enough of these shapes. I just line it up, and then I can just keep going and use as many colors as I like. Colors I've got: Quinacridone Magenta from Daniel Smith, Titanium White from Daniel Smith, Buff Titanium, also from Daniel Smith. I have got Titanium Gold Ochre from Schminky. This is the Horadam Gouache. Can I not speak today? I also have Helio Turquoise from Schminky as well. Phthalo Blue Green shade from Daniel Smith. Prussian Blue from Winsor & Newton. And Neutral Tint from Daniel Smith. I am going to sketch a little bit with my pencil for placement of where I'm putting things. And I'm using this Tombow Monograph mechanical pencil, and this is the 0.5. I love the pink color. I am going to kind of speed this up so you don't get really bored with me and talk you through this week's challenge and just different insights and stuff, and I sure hope you stick around. I'm going to sketch out kind of very gently or lightly, like where the horizon line is, like the basic big shapes, and I want to kind of put the boat in. So I started out by just literally drawing like a circular shape, and that's really so that I can get the size right. Meaning, and size and the placement. I have a tendency to make things way too big or too small. So if you just very lightly draw some type of a shape, then you can come back in and do your best to just make it look like a boat. Sometimes I go straight in with pen or with paint, depending on what it is I'm doing. But if I'm unsure, like I was with the shape of this boat, you definitely are going to want to start with a pencil. That way you can erase as many times as you like. Another great thing would be to take like just a piece of paper and sketch it out there first before you put it in the book. And then I'm going to just quickly mask this off. I'm not going to mask in the faraway boats because they're so tiny. I'm not too concerned with them. I also grabbed just a rag, and I've got just 1 cup of water. I usually recommend using one for clean and one for dirty, but I just can't be bothered with that right now. Let's swatch out these colors first. I highly recommend swatching out all of your colors. Do not skip this step. I did realize that I was using raw sienna, not gold ochre. The boat is dry, and I'm not paying too much attention, like it has to be masked perfectly, because we're going to use gouache anyway. So I'm not overly concerned with that. I'm going to grab my size 12 round. I want a pretty big size brush. Now, looking at the picture, I see that the same colors are everywhere, right? The sea is going to reflect what's up here. Do I want to go in wet on wet? You know what? I don't think I do, because that's not the way that this was painted. So this is an oil painting. So we're going to do it more like that, okay? But I'm going to start with the sky. So the trick to doing something like this is it's water control. So I'm going to make sure I have water on the brush, but not too much water. So as I'm painting this in, I'm kind of going to talk through our week of prompts so that you can join in the fun. Week 3's theme is curiosity. So day 15 is hidden. Day 16 is tiny. 17 is unexpected. 18 is collection. 19 path. 20 question. And 21 treasure. All of this is going to be listed in the description box of the video, and I will make sure to have all 21 prompts so that you can join in whenever it is you are listening to this. I do need to say, as I was painting this painting took me hours. I think it took me about 3 hours. I did spread it out over 3 different times that I sat down to paint, meaning I broke it up so I wasn't just sitting for the several hours that it took to complete it. It's also important to step away from your work, whether it's painting, coloring, whatever it is that you're doing creatively, so that you can look at it from a distance, maybe get away from it for a minute and take a breath, go take a walk outside if it's not too stinking hot, and come back with fresh eyes. A lot of times I recommend sleeping on it. I don't like to make any decisions whether or not, meaning if I'm not happy with something, I want to sleep on it and be sure that that's true. And if I'm not sure how I want to tweak something, I definitely want to get away from it so I can have fresh perspective. I've been enjoying this challenge, and it's been surprisingly easy for me to create every day. And I can't believe I'm doing double page spreads. You know, I love a good double page spread, but when I started this challenge, I was doing teeny tiny paintings. They're less than 2 inches square. And now I've progressed to a double page spread, and I feel better painting this size. And I think for my next challenge that I'm going to plan after this, I might even want to go a little bit bigger with a sketchbook. I do have so many sketchbooks. I'm planning an incredible video for you friends where we're going to talk about sketchbooks, all things sketchbooks. What are the best ones? I have bought so many sketchbooks. So make sure that you are subscribed and you click that notification bell so that you do not miss that video. If you are loving what you're seeing now with this painting and you would like a step-by-step tutorial where I walk you through every single thing I'm doing and why I am doing it, the colors, and how I was able to achieve this effect, I will have it available for my Studio Master members, and that is linked in the description box of the video and also as the first pinned comment. I thoroughly enjoyed painting this. I definitely want to do more master studies. I'm also really enjoying that I'm painting faster. And Tom said to me last night, he's like, you've gotten so fast. Like, I'm doing these paintings typically in one sitting or in an hour or a couple of hours, maybe a couple of days, where it used to take me months and sometimes years to finish something. So I don't know if I've gotten faster or if it's just the gouache. I'm going to say it's gouache. Did you guys know I love gouache? It is, in my opinion, the perfect medium. Here you see, I wrote the words at the bottom like I thought I was done. And of course, I came back over the top and made a couple of tweaks. What do you think, my friends? I love how this came out. It was so challenging, but completely worth it. If you made it to this point in the video, will you put a water emoji so that I know you are still here? I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.